Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. And what we have before you is the Maxshine. On their USA website, it's called the Modern Snowmaster or something like that. But on some other sites, they call this the Snowmaster V2. It just depends on where you are, but the original one had more like a Chemical Guys type brass manifold. I had one, I did a review on it, but it's quite some time ago. I'll link it in the description below, but this one is more Adams-like, I would say, but it's dual threaded. So for 60 bucks, we can do an auto mix with this, and I'll show you that in this video. You can auto mix any foam cannon with the right stuff. You can buy the little pieces from Griots for $6. There's 6 of them in there. It's just well put together. I touched it at SEMA. I was like, man, I got to try that out because there's so many things about it that I like. And obviously the price is a big one, but you know, there's so many cheap foam cannons out there. And you know, I've done a ton of videos on them. There's some really good cheap foam cannons like the Bear Force foam cannon. But the problem with the Bear Force foam cannon is the cap and the materials is a cheaper plastic, right? It's more brittle, but the cap, it is stout. The thread pattern is not proprietary because the Adams uses it, but nobody else uses this thread pattern. It's very, very wide. It does have a 1/4 quick disconnect that is O-ringed. So from the box, I didn't even have to use a tool. They should screw right in very easily and they should seal up. Now the tension on this, yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. When I want that set on my vertical, I don't want to ever have to do that again. And on the front part, it's tense, not as tense as this. So I could turn it without having to hold this with 2 hands. When I set it to where I want it to, it's going to stay there. The plastic feels very quality. It's ribbed all everywhere. It's ribbed up here around this neck for a grip, especially when wet. The ribs aren't like, they don't have a bad edge to where if you over tighten, like on a lot of these, that it hurts your finger. That doesn't hurt my finger at all. This doesn't hurt when I hit a limit and I start slipping on these threads. These threads are just the right height. They're beveled, they're rounded. Like I said, it's dual threaded here. It's just the exact same type of cap as the Adams. Nice flexible straw. I just really wished for this price range that there was a weighted ball on there. That's kind of a miss. But what they have here is cut to the right length and it will stay in the liquid. As you can see that bottle, it's just a plastic piece that kind of snaps on. It's like 2 pieces. So maybe on the drop test, this is going to take the punishment and it's going to pop off and protect the bottle. Maybe it's part of it. Who knows? And it is diluted at ounces and milliliters, which is very nice. Like I said, it's the right length. It's staying in the liquid when I move around. It just doesn't move as well as a weighted ball would. Very well balanced because this plastic piece provides this really nice level surface. Is extremely good. This is empty, but I mean, on a mobile cart on this, it's not going to fall over. And if you're the kind of person that's going to want to use regular soap bottles, this could be just full of distilled water to flush everything out whenever you switch from that bottle. Because obviously if you put a 16-ounce bottle in this, it's going to tip over because it's going to be too small. So we'll try some Carpro Reset today. We'll try some ADS Shampoo Plus. We got some Apex as well. And how about some GSF and a big old monster 1 liter. Now, obviously with the big old 1 liter, with the length of this straw, it's not going to go all the way down. Now we're going to add a weighted ball to see what it's like. I'll link below. You can literally buy a pack that comes with 2 of these weighted balls and like 4 straws. Now we're adding to the price. We've gone from 60 to 70 bucks. Now, if you want to go auto mix, we're adding another 10 bucks because even though they're $6 from Griots, they're going to cost about $5 to $6 to ship them. Even though they're itty bitty little things here, we're in the $80 range. I don't have an affiliate with them, but I Am Josh V has a discount code. I Am Josh V15. You can use that to get 15% off. It's going to take you for 60 bucks down to around like $51. And I noticed on the Maxshine site, they weren't charging me tax. So I'm down right around a $50 mark. Now this is the Adams and this is the other option. I'm not really going to show this in the video. I'll link below the video that I did on this. This bottle survived every single drop, survived the 18-foot drops from the top of the wall. So we know this bottle's good. Like I said, I don't like the looks of it, but the quality of materials here, it is the same thread pattern as this bottle. These caps can be swapped back and forth. Now, Adams, you can get from the Adams site. There's always some kind of discount code, 25% off discount code. I believe this is like $74.99. Now, these weighted balls, this is the easiest way to do this siphon. You just take a screwdriver from the back side, you feed it through and you just pop at that little mesh filter just there. You have the Griots piece. As you can see, it sits in there perfectly, but it doesn't you know, it doesn't snap in easily. But if you just a little bit of pressure, guess what? It's there. That's all we had to do. Now the Griots comes with a purple, a turquoise, and a pink. Turquoise is the biggest of the sizes. The purple is in between and the pink is small. So the pink one they say is for like high GPM machines, which may be the Active 2.3, but maybe gas pressure washers. The purple is meant for electric pressure washers. The turquoise they say is just meant for everything. It has the biggest size, but you never know. It just depends on how quickly you want to pull the soap and how good the foam is on the surface. It could take some playing around depending on your foam can, depending on your water, depending on your pressure washer to kind of dial it in. I just prefer, if you do it this way, to use the soap bottles themselves and not hold your bottle hostage, right? Now, the one bad thing is I just can't find replacement bottles for this. I looked on Adam's site, I looked on the Maxshine site, there's no replacement bottles, but I'm pretty sure you could probably call their customer service and get one. As you can see now, we have a weighted ball, we have the siphon tip. We have now turned this into basically what a $100 foam cannon can do. Well, that's enough of that. It's time for the fun. But before we get to that, make sure you check the links below for anything in the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it testing. So here's our cheap setup. This is for those of you running Ryobis, Craftsman's, Karchers, any of those type of machines. This is going to give you what this foam cannon can do out of the box with the mix that I have. I have the cheapest setup. I have an Uberflex hose going here. We have the Suprance swiveled M22 gun. I mean, for 20 bucks. I mean, it's pretty good. Of course, I have my Flexzilla hose coming from my Blushield reel. Goes into my Ely joystick sprayer here that has the valve. And the reason I do it this way is because I have a valve at the top that I can control the water here instead of at the wall. It has a quick connect at the end, pops right in. And one thing I love about the Craftsman is the inlet is on the side and not out the front. So now we hook that up, and then we're just doing a normal dilution for this first initial test before we try the auto mix. This is Incredible Suds. This is our control soap. Great cleaning soap, amazing foaming soap. So make sure that foam cannons foam the way you need a foaming soap. You can't just do it with just a lot of normal soaps. They'll foam a little bit, but they won't foam thick. Code Cars with Keeve at the House of Rags will save you 10% on this. The reason people like clear bottles is because you can see the liquid. But the problem is there is a definite downfall to that. So when we see the drop test later, we'll see what happens. This is with the stock 1.2, which I'm worried is not going to foam that great, but we can drop to a 1.1 and get what we need. So you can see it foams, but it's a runnier type of foam, which I was kind of expecting with a 1.2. All right, so I've added a 1.1 orifice in here. Let's see how it works. Now that's that thicker foam that we're looking for. It's still a little bit runnier than I'd say an MJJC. So our 1.1 is in there. We have our siphon tube. We have Carpro reset. We're just gonna put that in there, screw it into the top. And I mean, it does make it a lot less cumbersome. But man, and does it leak? No, it doesn't leak when it's threaded. Cool, we'll have to check in a minute. I forgot to check to see if it leaks, but we'll see. There we go. We are auto mixing Carpro reset. As you can see, the dilution. I think we possibly, to get thicker foam, maybe we can go to the turquoise. Obviously with the Griots, it's meant and it's calculated for their pull speed on their manifold. This one might be even slower, so we might need to use the turquoise one. So this is the turquoise one. I'm not going to try the pink because the pink, the hole is too small. It's going to pull even slower. There's no even trying. Here's the turquoise. I don't know if it's going to help any better or not. That's more like it. It's been 3 years since I made that video. I haven't auto mixed in a while, but that weighted ball and that little, siphon piece from Griots just snaps right in. You just push it, just get a little nudge to kind of wedge it in there, and it works perfect. I'm going to say, let's just stick with the recommended purple. We're going to put it in the Apex bottle. The Apex bottle's shorter. Apex foams really well. Now the Apex is like it's just, I don't know what you would say. It lathers so much better. It's just, the words can't describe it. It feels luxury. Like, it's good. See how much, like, it's just, man, that's nice. And we're barely pulling any soap out of the bottle. How about some Shampoo Plus from ADS? It's actually my first time using this bottle. I have so many soaps right now. I haven't tried them all yet. There we go. Good stuff. How about a big old monster bottle of GSF from Coach Gimme? I'm spraying onto an already foamed panel, so it's not gonna look as thick, but that's some cleaning foam. And we're using the soap bottle they have. Well, there you go, we can auto mix with the Maxshine. It's gonna auto mix with the atoms. Now, you could do this with any foam cannon. You just have to find a place for the siphon. You have to get the siphon. The reason I did it with this, because I figured with the dual thread, that just made it really easy. Now, one caveat to this is every time that you're switching that bottle and maybe going back to the main bottle to wash it out, it is gonna come out of the top of that soap and it's gonna drip. There's gonna be soap all over the tube and everything. So that's a bit of a mess. All right, we have switched to the Active 2.3, which is gonna put out a ton of flow. We have changed the orifice to a 1.45 because it's about the smallest you can use on that to stay under a 15 amp circuit. We have our Blushield Kevlar hose, our MTM SGS 28, and the same exact mix we had earlier. Let's see what it does. Wow, that sucks. That sucks. So you saw there, it didn't foam really well at all with the Active 2.3. So much water, it's just over diluting in the head. I put 1 ounce in the bottle and I filled it to the 800 milliliter mark. So that is much less than a 32:1 dilution ratio, but we didn't use any more soap. Comes out very soupy still. As you can see, based on that, I have no clue. We forgot to check to see if it's leak proof. It actually is. My theory doesn't prove out for this when it comes to changing the amount of water. It works out with the Boss, it works out with the Active, all those other foam cannons, but for some reason with this one, I don't know if it's just at a limit to where it just doesn't have the ability to foam any better. So maybe there is some foam cannons actually do foam better. All right, everybody, we are outside in the drop zone. 3 empty drops, 3 full drops. Well, it's got a defense mechanism. The top pops off, which is good because obviously it's absorbing pressure. So that's what it looks like now. So that plastic piece just snaps back on. We'll do a little bit higher just for dramatics. Does well. What survived, no damage. The top pops off each time, but it threads right back, no problem. MJJC, what's up with your bottle? This thing survived 3 empty drops. All right, 1,000 milliliters of liquid in here. Is it gonna survive? I don't know, but it's getting cold outside. Wow, no leaking. Pop this little protective sleeve, I guess you could almost say. Maybe a clear bottle can be durable. Awesome. We gotta keep going, don't we? Now that we've popped the plastic off, let's drop it without the plastic. This little thing is worth it. Maxshine, that was protecting it because I dropped it the one time. There you go. This was taking the hit. It was popping off. We learned a lot today. First thing we learned is that the Maxshine is actually a pretty decent foam cannon. It's not going to get you the thickest foam. We've tried. I tried my theory that's worked on many other foam cannons. It just seems like the Maxshine and the Atoms too probably just can't get the best foam. It's just not possible. But it survived all the drops, and not until we dropped it without the plastic sleeve, it broke pretty easily. So that plastic sleeve, it takes the brunt of the impact, it pops off so the impact doesn't go back through the bottle. I think that works really well. It's leak proof. Had no idea it was leak proof. It's dual threaded. We can do the siphon with it. We can do the auto mix. I think the auto mix isn't as good as say the Griots because the weighted ball, it doesn't seat as well. So I think some soap gets around the edges. So you may have to modify that weighted ball a little bit more. It's up to you whether you want to add a weighted ball, you want to add the siphon. With I'm Josh V15 discount code, it's going to get you to about the $50 range, which isn't bad for a foam cannon. But there you go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check the links below for anything in the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Before you get to that, that's about it for the overview. Have fun. But before you get to that, check the links below for anything that you, oh my gosh.